Hi, this is Richie DeMarco here with constructingyourbrand.com, and I'm here with Denise Butchko. Hey, Denise.
Hey, Richie. Today you sent me an email and said, the latest study from Houzz. And I realized when you sent it that I had completely ignored that email. I just thought, oh my gosh, a whole nother study, bunch of information. I don't have time. I don't have time. And then when I looked at it, because you brought it to my attention, I realized that there was a lot of really great, important information in there. So let's talk about that and help people with it.
Absolutely, Denise, and it's so funny because it did take me about a week or so to get around to diving into it. So I feel your pain, but it's loaded with a bunch of stuff, and right off the bat, one of the most important things in there is that more than half of the homeowners on Houzz are planning on renovating this year.
Yeah, and so for me, what that means is 50% of the audience is active. Like, that's huge.
Yeah, and I mean, could you imagine if your Clipper ad or your Yellow Pages ad was being viewed by 50% of people that were at least planning on doing a project in their home?
Oh, you'd be over the moon. And the same with any social platform. Even if you run, say, a paid Facebook ad campaign, if you get, single digit kind of conversion, that's incredible. And if it's double digit, it's got a 1 in front of it probably. And we're not totally talking about conversion here. I don't want to confuse people, but that's a lot of eyeballs. That's a lot of targeted people paying attention to what you're trying to sell.
Yeah, and I looked because I was curious just to see how many homeowners we were talking about, and their last reported, the last reported numbers was over 15 million unique users for Houzz.
So that's a chunk.
So it's a few. It's a few.
Yeah, yeah. So what you mentioned millennials, that was a key point of their research and how to pay attention. What was your point of view on that?
Well, yeah, my feeling on millennials, and it's funny because whenever we discuss social media, everybody says, social media is for children, it's for teenagers, it's for my kids. But, millennials are getting older, and the 25 to 34-year-old market, they're now, buying houses, they're homeowners. And even though it's a much smaller percentage, of them are homeowners, so I think it's at 10% of the homeowners on Houzz are millennials. They're still doing renovations at the same rate as everybody else. So you still have over 50% of them are doing renovations, and they're all over the net. So you having a presence on Houzz, you also need to look at things like your website and Facebook, and not to overwhelm, but there's a big reason for you. You cannot ignore millennials anymore. They're out there. They're spending money. They have houses, and you can't ignore them.
Yeah. And my favorite thing about millennials, lifetime customers. You're getting them early in the cycle. They're just going to keep growing, building, having children, adding on. And so unless you really jack up the project in a bad way, you've got somebody who then is going to count on you as a trusted partner for the rest of their renovation life. And that, you want to talk about value. Oh my gosh.
And not just them, Denise. How about when their parents need to have something done in their home, or their parents need something, they're going to call people that they're dealing with.
Absolutely, which then leads us to the second part of what we think were the most important takeaways from this, which is the aging in place concept, that people over the age of 60 want to stay in their home, and they need a huge, oh my gosh, huge amount of guidance in anything from not just getting rid of stuff and organizing, but to zero threshold, no barrier showers. I mean, people don't even know what that is unless they've broken their leg or if they're old.
And they are, and the baby boomers, they were like 26% or 27% of the members of Houzz. So you're talking almost 3 million, 4 million people that are potentially there, that again, showing up online, having good reviews, engaging your audience. that's all going to help you get those customers and clients to look for you.
Yeah, and in a very specific way with that older target. And then actually, as you mentioned, it might be universal design that you're talking about, but not only is the target market paying attention to that, but then realize that their children are also trying to learn that because they have to manage that process. So whether you are an expert in universal design, if you aren't, find some people who are and collaborate. They are awesome resources, and you'll be able to really create a lot of win-wins. And what a gold mine of idea books and content, blog posts, email marketing pieces. I could do a whole session.
And Denise and I, when we spoke for at KBIS a year or two ago, and we tried to search Houzz we did an idea book on universal design. And do you remember how difficult or how few pictures and how little information there was out there on universal design? So for all of you out there that are, that if you're using the Houzz platform and you've got it down pat and you're an expert at it, that's something you might want to add to your mix, because if you're, there's no resources out there. And Denise and I had a really hard time finding information, and it'd be a good place for you to stand out, a good niche for you to develop.
Yeah, and if you are an expert, connect with us, because I think it's an awesome topic. I've been fascinated by it for a long time. I've actually had some knee surgeries that didn't qualify me as old, but certainly put me in the position of, wow, I wish I had a shower I could just roll into. So since then, I've had a heightened awareness, and I don't want to go down that whole path. We're trying to give you key information from this research. And so that is kind of the latest that Houzz has come out with, and how we think you need to translate it to your business, or really you're losing customers and you're losing money. So pay attention to this. Take some action, put it on your to-do list, and while you're putting it on your to-do list, we're going to wrap this with a short message from our sponsor, because we know you want information in short bits. We'll come back with part 2, which is some very specific information about the stats and research and how that translates to what you can make happen on the platform and with your marketing. And in the roadmap of Houzz, here's a message from your sponsor, which is us. We have an awesome class that we just created about Houzz. It's online, on demand, great price, great deal. You can get it right now, and within an hour, Richie, you'll be an expert, right?
Oh, it's really easy. I mean, absolutely. We have really made this so simple, giving you specific how-tos, how-tos on idea books, projects, specific examples for you to use, things that as soon as you're done watching the video, which you'll be able to rewind and refer to and go back to, you could actually go right to your profile and put those things to use. So we make it real easy for you to follow along, and there will be a link in the video, on the blog, on my blog, on Denise's blog. There'll be links every place for you to track this and get more info about Houzz, so you don't have to wait for the next episode.
No, you can just do it right now and join our class. We'd love to have you. And we do. I mean, I don't like the dummy title series so much, because I don't think that people are dumb, but I get that you need it to, you need it to be simple. You need it to be in bite-sized steps. You need to be able to feel like you can accomplish something in a short window of time, not be overwhelmed by the technology, not know what to do, certainly not pull your hair out or you'll look like Richie.
There you go.
So join us for the class, sign up. We'd love to have you. And then stay tuned for part 2 of the latest from Houzz.
Thank you so much. This is Richie DeMarco and Denise Butchko for constructingyourbrand.com. Please be sure to head over to the site, ask a question. We'd love to answer it in an upcoming episode. Thanks so much.